lights, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Get the rocket trackless, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
You're listening to the No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're doing it again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
let's do it again.
We're going to see them this week, so we're all excited.
I love this band. I absolutely love this band. So for those of you that have been listening for any length of time, you know that we always start off the show with Madison Rising. And this band is probably one of the most patriotic bands out there. Would you agree, Michelle?
I would agree with that.
They have great music. It is definitely very soldier-centered, I think is a good way to describe it. I think it shares a lot of what our soldiers are going through. They are going to be at, and if you want more information on this event, the website is theyfoughtweridenational.com, and they're going to be at Harley-Davidson in Scottsdale.
Yes.
So definitely want to check that out. This is going to be benefiting Military Assistance Mission. It's Harley-Davidson at Scottsdale is where the ride is going to end. So if you're a rider, there are ride details there. So definitely go and check that out. And
did we connect those two? Ma'am and Madison Rising?
I don't know. Did we?
I don't know.
That would be interesting to find out.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, maybe not necessarily our show, No Limits, but I wonder if Vets on Media did.
Right. Very interesting. So definitely check out theyfoughtweridenational.com. So Michelle,
yes,
we have a new segment today that we're going to be adding, which is very exciting.
Yes.
Tell everybody about that.
So we have the Red, White, and Biz. And this is going to be a segment. It's a short segment, but we are going to spotlight a veteran-owned business, or if you're the spouse of a veteran. So we are going to spotlight those and go over a little bit about, how they decided to do that business, why they went into that, why we should pick you. There's a lot of different businesses out there. So, why should we come to them? So we're going to hear a little bit about each of their businesses and promote them for our veterans.
So if you are a veteran-owned business or the spouse of a veteran, definitely private message us on our Facebook page, No Limits Radio Show, and let us know about that business so that we can talk to you and find out if you would be a good fit for the show. How was your week? Before we get into the show, how was your week?
My week was good. My parents left on Thursday.
Okay.
After 5 weeks. So that was kind of sad to see them go. However, Thursday, I dropped them off at the airport on my way to work and went to work, and I got home a little later than normal. I worked a little late. So I got home about 6:30. I immediately took off all my clothes and just laid in my bed. So I was so excited to do that. I was like, I just want to lay in my bed and do nothing.
Because they've been sleeping in your bed.
They had been sleeping in our room. Right. Yeah. So that's what I did.
Well, I had an amazing first week at my new job, my amazing career that I'm so excited about. As I shared with everyone last week, I started as the VP of Business Development for City Brand Media, which is a national media company. Locally, we have many city.coms like Scottsdale.com, Tempe.com. So I really encourage everyone to go and check out Scottsdale.com because we've got an events calendar there. We've got restaurants. We've got a lot of really incredible content there. And I didn't realize how much I missed networking. Wednesday night was, I mean, we've done some networking for the show,
Right.
but Wednesday night, I realized I've kind of been on this hiatus from networking. And I went to my first networking event where I was able to announce, the company that I'm representing. And it was just so invigorating. Like, I'm definitely the kind of person that gets a lot of energy off of other people. It was at Networking Phoenix, which is, it was the monthly passport mixer. And it was just a fabulous time. Met a lot of great new people, saw people that I knew from before. And it was just wonderful. I couldn't be more excited and more thrilled with everything that's happening in my life right now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It really is
awesome. I am happy for you.
Well, we have a guest that's going to be joining us in studio. But before any of that, before we get to the veteran-owned business, before we get to the guest that's going to be joining us, we have the WWW.
Yes, we do.
This is where Michelle goes out to the web and she finds those stories that are wild, wonderful, wacky. I think you have something that fits in every, and wonderful. And she's got something that fits in every category.
Every category?
Yeah, definitely.
So the wacky's got to be, when you're referring to, I have a wacky this week. For whatever reason, if I don't know, I'm having a hard time finding wacky, I just look up state of Florida. And if I look up state of Florida, I am bound to find something. So this article, compliments of the Huffington Post, my favorite website for my news, comes from Florida. Go figure.
Of course.
Boynton Beach, Florida, actually. Jerome Clemens, who is 44, was arrested and charged with 1 count of arson on Wednesday for a incident that was actually back in December. He started the house on fire.
Why?
I was hoping you would ask me that. What do you think constitutes a good reason to start a house on fire?
Okay, if I'm going to get in the mind of a crazy person, I think
that's probably accurate, because I think you probably would have to be a little bit crazy to start a fire anyway.
I think the only reason might be if you thought the house was like possessed or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Jerome Clemens' niece refused to drive him to the liquor store when he needed more alcohol, and he got all fired up and he torched a ATV vehicle that was, I guess, right outside the house. There was a rug over it and drenched the rug in gasoline and lit it up. And yeah, I guess his brother was in there making dinner, and the next thing he knows, he sees flames everywhere. A garbage can started on fire, clothing went ablaze. And yeah, so he started the fire because his niece would not take him to the liquor store.
Wow. Don't they deliver liquor?
I don't think people deliver liquor.
There's a new app where you can text for anything. What is the name of that? I'm going to find it.
There have to be laws. Well, you'd have to have your liquor license.
You would have to have it. Right.
You'd have to verify ID. I feel like that's a big legality. Are you sure there's delivered liquor stores?
I'm searching right now.
I don't know, but if it is legal, I think we should maybe do this. It sounds like
okay. Text magic to get anything you want delivered.
Okay, but can you put alcohol?
Do you want me to try it right now?
Yeah, text them. See what we find out
right now.
Text them and see if we can have a 12-pack delivered. I'm thirsty. So anyway, go Florida. I love Florida.
That's crazy.
I do. Here's a little bit of wild.
Okay.
Did you hear about the ketchup and fries plant?
I saw that you shared this.
Yes.
But I have not heard about this.
Yeah, this is a plant seed that comes from a company called Territorial Seed Company. And this plant will harvest both potatoes and tomatoes on the same plant. So the, tomatoes, I don't know if you know, grow on a vine above ground. Right. Potatoes grow under.
Right.
So the plant, the vine goes up, the tomatoes grow there, and the potatoes grow under it. So it's like the plant goes both ways, like up and down.
It goes both ways.
It's bisexual.
Why?
It goes both ways.
why would somebody decide we need this? I don't understand.
They just think it's a very neat concept, considering the two kinds of produce grow very differently.
Okay.
However, they go together very well because this is where you would get ketchup and french fries.
Sure.
Are you going to buy one?
No. I can't keep any. Look, we have a fish that I'm shocked every day that it's still alive. Like, and the fish actually, it's a beta and it has a plant in there. So we're actually keeping alive a plant and a fish at the same time.
Wow, multitasking at its best.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't keep anything alive either, but I feel like I have to try this. I wonder how much it is. It didn't tell us how much it was, but it said starting in May, they will deliver to the US.
I think that since you have the ability to keep so many animals alive, I mean, you already have a proven track record for keeping things alive.
Animals.
So, yes.
There's a big difference between animals and plants.
I think that you could keep this alive.
I don't know. I kill everything. Did I tell you about my lantana?
Your lantana's fine.
Oh yeah, my lantana was beautiful. It was like the only plant that I could grow.
Right.
My mom was in town for 5 weeks, and my mom is a wonderful gardener. Don't get me wrong. My mom's back patio at home is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And she really enjoys doing that kind of stuff. So I came home from work, and my lantana that probably spread at least 10 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, very large.
Right.
She had trimmed it to about a 2-foot circular radius. And now I'm afraid it's going to die.
It's not going to die.
I don't know. It's looking pretty woody. I don't see a lot of growth.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Lantana is one of the hardiest plants. And provided that we don't have a frost, your biggest concern, and I told you this when she did it, provided, why are we talking landscape?
I don't know, but
I don't want to talk landscape.
But you understand, my mom didn't ask me, do you want me to trim the plants? I just came home and it was done.
Listen, moms never have to ask.
Well, that's true.
They just do.
That's true. You're right.
Well, I think you should do this. I think you should definitely.
Okay, I'll try it. If it starts dying, I'll just send it to my mom.
There you go.
She'll do just fine. So here's a little bit of wonderful. Did you see this 2-year-old that sang a version of the national anthem?
I did. And I got to say, adorable. Absolutely adorable.
Just adorable. Do you want me to play some of this?
I think you should.
Yeah, let's play this. Let me say who it is first. His name is Trent Harris. He's only 2 years old. And apparently he has loved to do like karaoke with the friends and family and everyone forever. And he's always sang the national anthem. It's one of his favorite songs. He loves watching football with his dad. And so a high school team asked him, a high school Facebook team asked if he would be interested in singing. And this was in New Jersey. So here is little 2-year-old Trent Harris. And it's just adorable.
And our men and women fighting for our freedom all across the world by the sake of our national anthem by 2.5-year-old Trent Harris.
And what's really great as you're, right now you're just listening to that, but when you watch, I mean, he's so little and he's just adorable.
He's 2.
He's adorable.
And he didn't have all the words right, but it was so cute.
Right.
It was so
Yeah,
cute.
it was.
I absolutely loved that. And now off to the wonderful. Christina cries very often on our show when we do the wonderful news. And she probably didn't cry at this, but I, of course, did. So, because I have the animals that I can keep alive. So there was a ceremony last Friday in New Jersey for the West Department Ford Police Department. And there was a retired canine named Judge who was put to sleep last week. And 90 police officers lined up in front of the vet's office. And Judge had one of the arms that you do for the training, one of those arms, in his mouth. And they all saluted him as he walked into the vet to be put to sleep.
I thought it was very sweet and a very touching story.
I thought it was.
Did you actually cry though?
Yeah, when I I was reading
Aw.
it. During his career, Judge helped apprehend 152 suspects, took 3 guns off the street, seized 3 motor vehicles, and tracked down countless amounts of drugs, police say. He was a true asset to our department and will be forever missed.
Aw.
So
It was
I think
beautiful. It was
that's-
wonderful. It was
is
a wonderful story.
And I think it's really neat that those officers took time to do that for him. I think that's pretty wonderful.
Yep.
So you watched the Oscars.
I did. I turned it off before the end though,
Did
because
you?
I could see that the only reason I watched it because I wanted American Sniper to get, I wanted that movie to be honored, and I wanted it to receive the awards that it should have. And I very quickly could see that it wasn't going to go the way I wanted to. And I got very frustrated and I turned it off.
Were you still watching it when Sean Penn
No, I missed that.
did? Okay, so did you hear about this?
I did.
Okay, so Sean Penn was going to announce the award for the best director. And Penn actually said before, this was for the movie Birdman, Alejandro Gonzalez, and I cannot say his last name. I apologize, everyone. I'm as white as they come. But anyway, Alejandro Gonzalez was one of the nominees, and Penn said, "Who gave this son of a bitch his green card?" And there's this uprise about it being a very insensitive comment and to the plight of many immigrants and also racist. However, Mr. Gonzalez seemed to think it was very funny. He has laughed about it, but on Twitter it was just an uprise of all these comments and how distasteful it was. What do you think?
Obviously I didn't see it. So, I mean, when you take just the printed word out of context, I don't know how he said it. If he said it in a joking, or, if he was a little bit snarky. So it's hard to say, having not seen it.
Right.
I think if the person that was on the receiving end of that found it funny, then I think America needs to just get over it. There were so many other things that were said that I found not needed,
In bad taste?
Yeah.
Well, and before we go into those comments, because I'm wondering if one of the comments that at the very beginning of the show I thought was very distasteful.
What was that?
Well, before we go into that, and then you can tell me what you thought was distasteful. The Oscars is full of comedy. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the people that are doing the awards and the introductions and the beginning of it and whatever, it is made to be
Funny.
Exactly.
And some people's humor is misinterpreted at times.
Right. And also, was this written for Sean Penn? Because I'm sure the majority of this is written.
Absolutely.
So let's not take it out on Sean Penn because
Right.
this is what they wrote for him
True.
to talk about. Let's just hope that, like you said, the way he said it came off like, hey, this is a joke.
Right.
I'm assuming the writers meant it to be funny.
Well, and I think a lot of people were shocked. Well, okay. The next morning when I learned that Birdman won, I was really shocked, and I didn't see the movie. So to be fair, maybe there's something that I missed that maybe it was a great movie.
I normally don't like the movies that win all the awards. I think that's the way it always goes. So what did you hear that you thought was more distasteful than this?
I don't like it when the celebrities bring politics into it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a line that they don't need. They don't need to go there. And it was Patricia Arquette's comment about wage equality, which I just feel like.
What did she say? Because I didn't hear.
She went into a whole diatribe, a whole speech, and in that she said, that we need to have wage equality. Women need to be making the same amount that men do, which is something that some people want the government to get involved with. I think that that's an issue that women need to fight for and that women need to demand. I'm not a big fan of big government. So anytime that we decide government is the solution to it, I don't feel that's the solution.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like what she said, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, it's a comedy. It's entertaining. You don't need to bring politics into this.
Right. Well, there was a comment that the host, Patrick Harris, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he made at the beginning when he was talking about the movies that were up for the nomination.
Okay.
And I can't remember the exact wording, and I didn't find it. So I guess people didn't find it as
Offensive as you did.
distasteful or offensive, well, as everyone did the Sean Penn.
Right.
But he made a comment, something about the American Snipers, and it being about the story, what the storyline was. And then he said something about, and all that happened before 9 a.m. or all of that in a day's work or something like that. Something about it happening before breakfast or before 9 a.m. or something like that. And I just thought it was I just thought that was maybe one movie that let's not make jokes about.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that was the one that I thought was distasteful. That was in the beginning. So last but not least, you want to do Wonderful, or you have a comment still on the Oscars?
No, I don't.
Okay. This story, I would like to share this story. Did you see the pictures? There is a new project out there called the Veteran Vision Project.
I did see that.
It was created by a photographer. He's a college student, Devin Mitchell. And he wanted to empower veterans and enlighten the public about the serious issues they face upon returning home. So he takes a picture of them in their uniform in a mirror, and then a picture of them in their normal clothes that kind of shows who they are in outside of the military. And then he merges the two.
Which I think is great to show all sides of. A lot of times you see the man or the woman in uniform and you get this picture of who they are. And there are actually a lot of sides. Did you see, speaking of, since we're talking about veterans, did you see the Red Robin receipt that's going around on Facebook right now?
No.
I shared it on my profile. This is a receipt, and it shows the amount of the check at Red Robin was $40.10. And then where it has tip, it's got a 0 with a line mark through it. And then the customer wrote, "My tip is the freedoms I provided for you while serving my country. You're welcome for my service." So this was posted by Hot Z95. And it's a soldier refuses to tip the server because he says he already fought for the server's freedom. And people are asking, it's unbelievable the amount of comments of what people are saying about this. What do you think about that? Because I have mixed emotions. Like on the one hand, yeah, you did.
I feel his statement is very accurate.
Right.
However, a server's tip is how they make the majority of their money.
Right.
So even though he did provide her freedom
or his
or her freedom, they still deserve to be in that type of industry rewarded for their performance.
Right.
So,
and how do you know that server isn't also a former soldier?
Exactly.
Right. So I had very mixed emotions when I saw that. I thought, on the one hand, yes, you did. And if I'm a server, I might tell you, you know what, don't worry. Let me as the server decide that you don't need to give me a tip. I felt that it came across very, I'm trying to think of a word other than
what?
It just came across very dickish, like
dickish.
And I don't know if that's a word.
I don't think that is a
dickish.
Word. Dickish?
Dick-like. It came across very tacky.
Tacky. There we go.
That's the word.
Because I don't think dickish is a word. Oh, wait. In the Urban Dictionary, dickish is a word.
There you go.
It is to be brash and insensitive to another, to put your own interest above anyone else, to act like a penis.
See, okay.
That's the Urban Dictionary.
Did you hear? Okay, we are going to go back to the Oscars. Did you watch the red carpet interviews?
Some of them.
Please tell me, when did the word gorgeous become shortened to gorge?
I don't know.
Because one of the interviewers
said gorge,
kept saying gorge. And I was like, wait, why do we need to shorten? Because a lot of words do get shortened, but why do we need to shorten gorgeous?
I don't know.
Because the word gorge, when you say gorge, the first thing I think of is when you gorge yourself and you overeat. Like, so two completely different.
Oh, I was thinking a gorg. I mean a gourd.
You were completely changing the letters in there.
Yeah, just switched it all around. Well, I don't think gorg or dickish is a word, even though the Urban Dictionary says it is.
Well, and just because the Urban Dictionary says it is, doesn't mean it is.
Let's just see if gorge is a word in the Urban Dictionary.
You gotta be kidding me.
Shorthand slang for the word gorgeous.
That's just ridiculous and not necessary.
She is effing gorge. That's what it says.
Oh.
Urban Dictionary. If you'd like to use it in a sentence, the correct use is she's effing gorge.
We are going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, I guess so. So apparently, to answer your question, the word gorge being short for gorgeous has apparently been around for a while.
All right. Well, there you have it.
There you have it. So that, my friends, is the WWW.
We're going to go to a break.
We are.
And when we get back, we will have our veteran business spotlight. And I'm very excited about this one.
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Breaker 19. How about that bandit? You got them ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone in your job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
You're listening to the No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
We're back.
So,
I didn't want to hear you talk just quite yet.
Thanks for muting me.
Sorry, sweetie.
So before the break, we were talking about this bill, this bill that somebody had written on, a soldier had written on there. And if you're just tuning in, I will share that again. He wrote, In exchange for the tip, he wrote, "My tip is the freedoms I provided you while serving my country. You're welcome for my service." And, I mean, there are so many comments on this. One individual, one of my friends, Scott Warga, commented, "You do not know the whole story. Perhaps the server was complaining about soldiers or the military or people going to war and was just really negative towards anyone who had served. And that's why this person wrote that." So I think that's we don't know the whole story. Maybe there was something more. I don't know.
You're right. We don't. I mean, yeah, there's always something that could have been different. I thought he was going to tell us the whole story. Like, I thought he had found more of what the story was.
No, he didn't.
He was just saying, well, what
It's
if?
possibility. Yep.
There's hundreds of what ifs. She could have
Absolutely.
demanded a $50 tip and been a total. She could have been dickish to him.
There you go.
So you're right. We don't know the whole story.
True.
But hey, it's interesting to have conversations like that, because if you don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
how do you find out what people think and
Yeah.
what makes people click?
And
unless you have those conversations.
I love hearing how differently people see things. Speaking of how differently people see things, obviously yesterday or day before yesterday, there was this huge viral, the dress, hashtag the dress. What color did you see the dress?
I saw the dress white and gold. And my daughter had brought it in and she said, no, it's blue and black. And I'm like, and I was actually laying in my bed because, I hadn't laid in my bed forever. So I was kind of at that point where I was like, what do you need from me? Like, if you don't need something from me, I'm not sure why you're here, because I need to just lay in my bed right now. So, so she brings it in and, interrupts my me time. And I'm like, it's white and gold. And she goes, no, Mom, like, what color is it really? And I go, it's white and gold. And she goes, Mom, it's blue and black. And I'm like, okay, it's white and gold. That's what it looks like to me. I don't understand what the point is to this conversation. And she goes, well, that's just it, Mom. Some people see blue and black. Some people see white and gold. And I'm like, oh, well, I see white and gold. You can go now.
I think it's fascinating how differently people saw this one picture. It's also interesting to note that this dress has gone viral, which in this case is probably not a good thing. Like, many times, if you're a business owner, you want your product to go viral.
Right.
Do you think anyone's going to buy this dress? No, because what color is anyone going to see you wearing it? I'm not buying that dress.
Does it matter?
No, I'm just saying for the business. Like,
well, you're right, but actually, wouldn't that be necessary? Isn't that kind of a neat thing that you go somewhere and some people are talking about your dress as white and gold, and other people are talking? I think that would be, you would have the best dress there. Well, actually, the dress isn't that pretty.
It's not that pretty.
It's not that pretty.
Yeah.
But let's say it was pretty. Okay, let's say it was a pretty dress, and to different people, it looked different colors. You're telling me you wouldn't want that dress? I would want that dress.
No.
You wouldn't?
Why do you think I'm wearing red today? Apparently, nobody can see colors, but red, we all agree on. Everybody can see red. I'm just wearing red from now on, all the time.
What are you talking about? People can't see colors. It's just that dress. Isn't it the picture? It doesn't have something to do with the...
it is. It's the picture.
Yeah.
It's the white balance in the picture. But it's what your brain does with the colors. All right, Rusty Creed.
It's what your brain does with the colors?
Yeah, it's what your brain does with the colors.
Oh, well, I must like white better than blue.
Okay, so Rusty Creed is our veteran spotlight business. And he must be very busy right now helping somebody with their insurance. I love the fact that we're bringing Rusty Creed on, maybe not today, because he might be helping somebody else with their insurance.
Bear it with me 1 second. We'll be here soon. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just keep on talking.
Yeah, you can finish, but I'm just saying he is going to call in.
Okay, good. The thing that I really liked about, that I like about having Rusty Creed is that both Michelle and I can personally attest to his service and what his company provides to people at Allstate Insurance.
I absolutely love his insurance company.
Me too.
So for me, and we'll talk about, whether his rates are, with other companies, if they're comparable, or less or more. But personally, I think and they aren't for me, for me in my situation, when I priced other companies, he did have the best price for me. But I would even pay a little bit more because of his company. So
I agree.
Absolutely.
He did have the best price for me as well. And when my daughter got her own car, they were great. They were, when you're buying a new car, there is so much hassle and frustration that you go through. And the one thing that was not a hassle at all was getting her insured through them. They were unbelievable, very helpful. It was a great experience.
Oh, because you just added a new car.
Actually, Sky got her own policy.
Awesome. So.
Yeah. So she's very excited. She feels like quite a grown-up. She owns a car. Do we have Rusty?
We do. Rusty, are you there?
It's Rusty.
Hi, Rusty. Thanks for joining us today on No Limits Radio Show.
Not a problem.
So, Rusty, were you just playing around with me on that text you just sent me?
Oh, I thought it was at 10:30. I didn't know what you meant.
I sent you another message. You must not have got it. Because I just sent a message, hey, you can call in 3 minutes. And he's like, who is this? I don't know what this is about. And I'm
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, do I have the wrong number? I can't know more than one Rusty.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, Rusty, we were letting everyone know about our personal experience with your company and how great you and everyone at your company has been to us. Let's share with everyone a little bit about your company, though.
I've been with Allstate for about 12 years, and me and Sean, who actually met in Afghanistan, opened up our own office a little over 4 years ago out in Florence. We tend to hire mostly veterans and try to get them some more information on their resume besides just military background. So I think we've had over 9 different employees that have run through there that are veteran related. That some of them stay and some of them, take a year or two and kind of get some more business experience and kind of move on to bigger and better things. But we specialize in all types of insurance, mostly auto, home, and motorcycle. But we can pretty much, if there's an insurance policy for something, we can pretty much find somebody like me they're insured if we can.
So what took you, because you served in the Army, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And how many years did you serve?
I'm still in the National Guard currently, so I just passed my 11th year.
11 years. Wow. Well, thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you for your support.
You're welcome. So you came home from a deployment and decided to start a business, or what brought you to Allstate? Like what was kind of that path like between coming home and then deciding, hey, what am I going to do now?
When I initially, before we got deployed, I was working for Allstate, but I didn't really enjoy it. And so when we came home, I was trained not to go back into insurance. And so I started turning wrenches at a couple different mechanic shops. And when my ex-wife became pregnant, I decided I probably needed to do something bigger and better. So I went back and started working for my first agent that I started working for, and I worked for him for a couple of years and built up a good customer referral basis out there, and Allstate came to me with an offer to start an office out in Florence. So I kind of took at it and ran with it, and everything kind of worked out.
That's pretty awesome. So we were talking about how great you are. So, Christina and I both, I brought Christina to you. So you're welcome. But I did that because, I'm from a small town. So the thing that I miss about being from a small town is that when it comes to certain things with businesses and what you need and whatever, you kind of just know who to go to. And when I first moved to Phoenix, you just go to whatever insurance company is going to be the best rate. And so I had done that. And then I decided I'm going to contact Rusty. So I contacted Rusty, and I love it because it literally is like my friends that if I ever have any problems, I call them.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the nice thing about having like an actual agent is, versus like the kind of customer service is kind of a dying breed, and most people kind of just pick, whatever's going to be the cheapest rate. But the service is, sometimes it's almost worth it to pay a little bit extra if you're going to get good customer service. It's always nicer to be able to call the same person and only tell the story once to one person instead of, calling it and talking to Joe Schmo that might even be in a different country and getting passed around 10 or 12 different times just to answer questions or anything that can be done with your policy. So it's kind of nice to, I have some customers that I signed up over 12 years ago, and you get to watch their families grow and their kids grow and build that kind of relationship that's not just business related, but also on like a personal side of things.
But that's the thing. Michelle and I both, not only do we have this great experience, every person that I've ever talked to at your office has been wonderful. In addition to that, the rate was better than what I was previously paying. And I was sharing with everyone, my daughter just bought her own car and decided that she wanted to have her own policy. And the whole process was so easy. It was so fluid. The car buying process can be a very stressful one. And of everything, that component, getting the insurance, was just such a breeze. And it was wonderful. It was really, truly wonderful. So thank you.
But glad to hear that. No, that's what we're here for. So it's always nice to hear when other people in the office, treat you the way that it should be. So.
I don't know how many people in your office like me though, because when I call, I'm just like, can I speak to Sean or Rusty? Can I help you with something? No, just tell them Michelle called.
Yeah.
See, I'm more flexible.
You are? No. But usually I'll say, like I had to change my routing number the other day, an account number, and Rusty and Sean were both busy. So it's Kyle, right? Is that who's also in your office?
Yeah, Kyle. He was actually in my old military police unit up in Flagstaff. So he was kind of looking for something bigger and better, same thing after his son was born. And so I gave him an opportunity to work there. So he's just passed his second year. And then Jan is she started off as a part-time employee and kind of wanted to do something bigger with it. So now she's a full-time as well. And then we have Paul, who I actually went to high school with. So finally, after years of trying to get him to come out there, I was able to. So
that's awesome. And are you, because I know you said that you do a lot of times try to hire veterans. Is your office currently hiring or looking for someone? Because I know you're looking to open a second office, right?
Yeah, our second office opens up April 1st in San Can Valley. So we're always looking to hire people, and not only if I don't have somebody or like an opening at either one of my offices, or if somebody lives too far away that they don't want to commute out there. I think I just passed over my 80th or 81st person that got employed at different Allstate offices. Either I even had some people that were looking for work out in Texas and able to get employment, work with the Allstate account there that needs somebody. I've always tried to pitch that they should hire veterans because you're going to get that discipline. They can kind of take a licking if they do something wrong, and they're not going to hold a grudge against it, but they show up on time. I mean, there's always bad apples in every batch, but for the most part, the veterans are the best type of employee to actually look for. So if somebody up in like Flagstaff is want to find work, I can typically call an Allstate agent and look around to see who's hiring and set up an appointment, and kind of goes from there.
So if someone is looking for either insurance, or if they're looking, if they are looking for a job and they're qualified, what is the best way for them to reach you?
They can give me a call on my cell phone, which is 602-359-6769, or they can also email me at r.creed, CREED, @allstate.com. They don't really need to have experience whatsoever. I mean, as long as they can breathe and walk, we can pretty much train them up in a couple months. So it's, if anybody's out there looking for work, they can reach out to me. I can look what area they're looking for. If it's far outside of my office, but we can pretty much always find somebody that's looking for employment that's an Allstate agent that can look at hiring them.
And what's the best way for people to contact you for their insurance needs? Would it be through that same email or office line, website? What's the best way?
Oh yeah, they can give me a call on my cell phone, or my email address is perfectly fine. Our main office number is the 520-723-8488. And typically, like if I'm busy or out of town or anything like that, and they call my cell phone or my email, I then hand it off to Sean or Kyle or anybody else at the office that can better help them if I'm not able to.
And Michelle and I have been primarily talking about our experience on the automobile insurance side of things. Tell everyone about all the other different products that you have.
We pretty much auto, motorcycle, renters insurance, landlords, condos. I mean, pretty much everything. We do event insurance. If you're having like a motorcycle event that you're worried about something happening, getting sued for it, we can write an event insurance policy. There's even rain insurance for if you're doing like a fundraiser type event and it's an outdoor event and it rains. Obviously, there's not a lot of people that are going to show up as previous. So you can have a policy that would actually pay what you think you would have brought in donations and those types of things. But pretty much if there's a need for it, we can fill it. And then life insurance as well is probably one of the bigger ones that a lot of people don't have. There's only really one guarantee in life, and that's that eventually everybody's going to die. And only, I think, like 48% of people actually carry life insurance. And most of the time people spend more money on lottery tickets on a monthly basis than they do on their life insurance. And I guarantee to set your family up to make sure they're not going to be run into a financial struggle should anything happen.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you again for your service. We really appreciate that.
Oh, not a problem at all. You guys need anything else, just let me know.
Oh, we will. We always do. So thank you, Rusty. You have a great weekend.
You as well. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. So again, that was Rusty Creed with Allstate Insurance. And Michelle has posted his contact information on our Facebook page.
I have.
Excellent. We're going to go to a quick break. And when we get back, we are going to learn about the Sisterhood Extravaganza. So you won't want to miss this. So definitely stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Break a one nine. How about that bandit? You got them ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. If you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Welcome back. Welcome to No Limits Radio Show. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle. Sorry. I normally am a really good multitasker, but I was like typing and you said it and
there were too many
JD walked in
going on.
and I was like, wow, okay, I guess I'm a 3 multitasker.
So we have in studio with us Patrice, and she's going to share with us more about Sisterhood Extravaganza, this incredible organization. So Patrice, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Christina.
You're very welcome.
Michelle.
You are welcome.
All right. So tell us about the Sisterhood Extravaganza.
Well, the Sisterhood Extravaganza is a women's empowerment network. It was founded in April 2013. It's a nonprofit organization, and we're dedicated to being helping women achieve the fullest potential in their lives by creating a circle of influence for them. The important work of building a strong foundation is that we collaborate with each other. We celebrate each other it's like a real sisterhood. So I'm very passionate about it because it's brought that kind of relationship building to me within my journey as I progress in my professional life and in my personal life.
What was the catalyst for creating the organization?
Well, I mean, Pat, who is the founder, she loves helping women. She's dedicated to educating. She's dedicated to helping women and girls empower themselves. She helps them with knowledge. She's a leadership coach in her own right. She's worked with very large organizations. And so that was the catalyst of bringing this organization to fruition. It was her dream.
And does the organization have monthly meetings? How does it work?
We don't have monthly meetings. What we do is we schedule events.
Okay.
So like last night, we all got together and had a movie night, and to celebrate one of our friends who's an independent artist, and he had his new film to come out, which is 72 Hours, and it was playing at Harkins Theater. So we were there celebrating him.
How exciting.
Yeah, it was cool.
So not your traditional type of getting together and connecting.
No, it's not.
And how many members do you have?
Right now, I'd say official members, we have about 10.
Okay.
That's consistently come to our events. And that's the piece that we're actually putting together, where we're actually having them to bring more memberships on board. So.
And what is there a cost for membership, or is it just I'm committed, I want to join? How do you become a member?
Yes, there is a cost for membership. So there are 3 levels of membership. So we have the individual, and then we have the entrepreneur, and then we have the corporate membership.
And your memberships are really affordable. Are these for the year?
Yes.
$99 for the individual, $159 for an entrepreneur member. Now, what is the difference between an individual and an entrepreneur member?
So the individual comes to all of our events. They get discounts on the events that we have. And the entrepreneur actually gets the opportunity, if they have a business, that they get to be on our platform. So like with the summit, we have women who are members, and they're now actually have the opportunity to speak.
Okay, I understand.
Yes.
And then the corporate membership is $359. So ranging from $99 to $359, that's really not that bad. And the movie that you guys saw, again, that was last night, that was 72 Hours?
Yes.
Was it a great?
It was a great film. It was Christopher Nolan. He was a math teacher, and he decided he wanted to do a film, and he created this amazing film. So I encourage everyone to go and check it out.
Now, is he a member?
No, he's not a member.
Okay.
We're supporting, it was a friend of his. We're supporting him because he's an independent filmmaker.
So he had a female friend
that
is part of the sisterhood.
Yes.
So guys, it's beneficial to be friends with the Sisterhood Extravaganza organization.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now tell me about some of the other types of events. So see, initially I thought that this was like networking, lunches, things like that. So last night you guys went to see a movie. What have been some other types of events that you've done?
Some other events that we've done, we've actually got together and do a book club.
Okay.
So Pat has written a book. It's called The Sisterhood, Lessons I've Learned Along the Way.
Okay.
So we do book clubs. We, meet to just luncheons, of course.
Okay.
Dinners. We get together and do dinners. And we did a wine tasting.
See, I was wondering I'm waiting for the wine. I'm waiting for the wine.
Yeah. That was fun.
Okay, I didn't get an invite to that one.
Yes, but you will be at the next one. Right?
I will be at the next one next Saturday. All right. So speaking of next Saturday, you are going. The Sisterhood Extravaganza is actually going to be celebrating International Women's Day in Phoenix.
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing. I did not know. Michelle, did you know about International Women's Day?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So enlighten us, please.
International Women's Day started, about 10 years ago. And they celebrate this great day all around the world. just recognizing women for their contributions to the communities, right? And so it's a global thing. It's not just in the U.S. So it is a global initiative. Actually, they have a website. I don't know if you guys can pull it up, but it's just an opportunity for us to celebrate women and their accomplishments. So.
And women have a lot of accomplishments and a lot of contributions, and what's not to love about women? So of course we should celebrate women.
Absolutely.
But then I guess we're probably kind of biased.
I think it should be, I don't know what we're talking about, an international day. Like it shouldn't every day be.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know what we're talking about one day of the year.
Well, it's just like everything else. It's Easter. When it's Easter.
That's right.
We eat candy all year round.
Well, I kind of demand it every day. So.
Exactly.
So how did this, the Sisterhood Extravaganza, how did that come about with supporting or promoting and creating this this local event celebrating International Women's Day?
Well, we were thinking of putting on a summit that will focus on entrepreneurs, business women, getting them together and just giving them an opportunity to share their experiences. And so as I was searching, I thought, oh, International Women's Day is coming up. We should do something around that. And that's what we did. We decided to make it a celebration, especially for this region when I saw that there was nothing going on. And when I say region, like California, New Mexico, there's a lot going on the East Coast, but nothing on the West Coast that I saw. So.
What's really interesting is that it seems to me like the climate, if you will, about the way that women connect and network. 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot of competition between women. And it seems like it's really changed and it's more about collaboration. And from everything I understand about this organization and what you guys are doing, it really seems like this is creating and nurturing and fostering that collaboration.
Yes. That is so important for us. And as a business owner, entrepreneur myself, I would love to have that one person or that 2 or 3 people that can actually help me on my journey as I'm growing my business. That's what I do. If you need some help with something, you say, hey, can you read through this? Or can you take a look at this? Or do you have someone that I might be able to talk to? I'm happy to share that with you.
Because it doesn't take away from my success at all. If I've been down that road and I can share with someone, I vividly remember the first ever networking event I went to and how horrible I was at it. That newcomer, that new young woman that's coming in and it's her first networking event, I absolutely want to share with her, here's some tips and tricks and here's some things that you need to know. This is how you want to enter the room. This is how you want to navigate the room. And I think it's great that more women are getting that. It doesn't take away from our success. So speaking of success, how will this day unravel? Like, give us an idea of what is the event going to look like?
Well, the event will look like we have our speakers. I think I'll kind of go through some of the speakers that we'll have there. Speaking on networking, we will have Danielle Hampson, who she's my friend, the queen of networking. So she's going to talk about networking in the 21st century.
Okay.
She is awesome. Danielle's an international businesswoman. She actually hosts her own talk show for authors.
Okay.
So if you're an author, definitely check out her site. It's theauthorshow.com.
And I'm sure she would also have ideas if everybody has a story.
Yes.
So what's that first step? If you're wanting to write a book.
Yes.
Going back to what she's going to, so networking in the 21st century, what does that mean?
Well, what that means is that when she first started, she worked around a lot of men. And when she went, just like you, when you walk into that first network, she's, I'm not a networker. Oh, I can't do this, and she wanted to turn around and leave because she was just fearful, right?
Right.
So she'll be talking about, the things that she went through when she first stepped out into networking. And what she did, she really dove into it because when you go to other countries, you have to think about their culture and how you connect with them. being an international businesswoman, she's visiting a lot of different types of countries. She needed to know how do you shake hands? How do
Sure.
you present a card? Do you look them directly in the eye, or do you, whatever.
Sure.
So you have to really understand that culture. So she's going to dive deep into that.
Interesting.
At the conference.
I have a little networking tip. When you mentioned the business cards, whenever I go to a networking event, I always wear a jacket that has pockets or pants with pockets.
Yes.
And here's the reason for that. And you're nodding your head. I wonder if you do the same thing. I put because it's all about connecting. And in the event that it comes up and someone says, oh, I'm interested in what you do and I want more of that, if
Right.
they say that, if the conversation goes in that way, I put their card in one pocket. If they're just somebody that I just want to follow up, and that's one of the biggest things that people don't do, is they don't send that email, they don't reach out afterwards. Which, if you don't do that, you might as well just stay home and don't go. So then that card will go in the other pocket. So is that something that you...
I have done that. Yes. And sometimes I will make like little notes on the back of their card when I walk away. And so that I remember their name, I'm saying it 3 or 4 times and throughout the conversation that we're having. So like I would say, hi, Christina. So Christina, tell me about your business.
Sure.
Oh, Christina, well, what did you do last? I'll say your name several times so that I can remember it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you walk away and you don't remember.
I know. And what's really helpful is when they have a name badge on, because I'm a visual person, so hearing it doesn't always click. But if they have something that has their name on it and then I can see it, that really helps me greatly. Interesting little networking tip there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what other tips. So Danielle Hampson is going to be speaking about networking in the 21st century. So I'm curious to see what other tips she might have. Tell us about another one of the speakers that are going to be at this event.
Well, I will talk about this Carmen Ray. Carmen Ray is a social entrepreneurship. She has she's working with an organization called Be Well, and Carmen. She's an awesome lady. She does event planning. She loves working with women. She has some great ideas and services. She does health and wellness. And I just really, when I first met her, she was just such a wealth of information. I mean, she could tell you about a lot of things. So she worked with a lot of nonprofits and women that were kind of, going through different levels of their careers and such. And so she will be there sharing her story about her journey as becoming an entrepreneur.
Which, there's so much when people do share their journey, the highs, the lows, I think there's so much that you can learn from that, because as a business owner, you're going to have those highs and lows. You're going to have those days where you're pulling your hair out. And
absolutely.
So to hear somebody's success through that, I think is really helpful. All right. Who else do we have?
Who else? I'll give you a few here. Oh, we have one of our panelists is going to be Miss Fawn Ching,
who we have had here in studio before. Yes,
awesome.
we have.
She's awesome.
She's amazing. Amazing.
She was just speaking at one of the other organizations that I'm a part of, Women Investing in Women, and we did. They did their book launch. The Success and Beauty.
Yeah.
And so Fawn will be there sharing her information about becoming a total bombshell. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to say about that.
You know what I found really interesting about Fawn Chang is that I've known her for quite some time. And here was the lesson that I got. She always, to me, outsider looking in, she always looks perfect to me. She always looks perfect. I mean, just stunning, head to toe, stunning.
Yes.
And she shared that she has those highs and lows, those, where she questions how she looks and what she's wearing and her own perception of herself. It really was, it was really interesting to me, because as an outsider looking in, I just see her as perfect all the time. And it was so interesting to hear from her that she goes through a lot of the same things that I do, which I found it very interesting.
It is interesting because, I think we as women all go through those weird things.
We do.
I have 3 sons and they're so cute because they're like, oh, Mom, you look great. Why do girls always do that?
Yep.
So it's funny. we just, go through that moment where we feel like this hair is not right, or these pants just don't fit right.
Right.
Or, this dress it's just, it just makes me look, but then why do you buy it if it makes you look that way?
Exactly. Well, and
because it was on sale. That's why we bought it.
It's like, okay.
Well, and what was really interesting, speaking of what you're wearing, over that whole, the dress, some people saw it as one group of colors and other people saw it as another group of colors. Within my household, my daughter saw it as a very different color than I did. My son saw it as the same color. So I told both of them, okay, I know who I'm going to when I have a question about my outfit.
Right.
Because clearly my son sees it the same as I do.
Exactly.
And my daughter, I don't know what she's seeing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Great. Yeah. So she will be talking also about how to shop in your closet, which, ladies, I don't know about you, but I have so many clothes in my closet. Learning how to shop in my closet would definitely be very fiscally helpful because I constantly, instead of going to my closet first, I constantly go to the store first. Or Michelle's closet.
Oh, Michelle's closet. And what time does your closet open?
Well, I'm up pretty early. So like this morning, the closet was open by 5:15. So feel free.
Wow.
Okay. And I know you also have a panelist. So tell us about who's going to be speaking on that panel and what they're going to be talking about.
Our panelist actually will have Kim Brooke. She is talking on health and wellness. We have Zena, which is going to be talking about manifesting and honoring money. We will have, who else is on the panel? I'm trying to think here. We have Shahara Smallwood, who will also be on our panel. She's going to talk about the fun. She's a financial guru, I should say. And she's going to talk about the 5 money questions for women. So
what are those?
I'm not sure what those are. Okay. We'll find out at the summit.
So if you want to find out what those 5 money questions are,
it probably has something to do with you going to the store instead of looking in you or I's closet.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might be on the good start there.
So so those are some of our panelists. There's a couple more, and I just don't have everyone's name here, and I apologize.
And Dr. Tertia Hamilton.
Yes, Dr. Tertia. She is awesome. She's a naturopath. Physician here in the Valley, and she is going to speak on ways to do healthy living. So incorporating the right foods, the exercise, the mental capacity of that, and just ways of how we're going to go about treating diabetes and different things like that. So she'll give some really great pointers on that.
I hope she also talks about the aging process because
that could very well be that she'll talk about that. So,
and your mistress of ceremony, Rosalind.
Yes, Rosalind Williams. She is awesome. She actually has a radio show herself. It's called Life Matters Today. Yes. And Rosalind, I was on her show earlier this month, and
we
were talking about love and relationships, and that was very interesting. So if you get the opportunity to check that out, because February is the month of love.
Sure.
So we had a panelist of men and women, and so we were talking about the relationship part. How do men view relationships? How do women view relationship? What's important? What are they looking for? And it was awesome. And we continued the conversation offline at a local taco place.
Now, when you say local, are you talking about just because it was here, or are you saying like a mom and pop taco shop?
Well, it was. It's actually a restaurant, and
okay, so it wasn't Taco Bell.
It's not Taco Bell.
It's not Taco Bell.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
It wasn't Taco Bell.
So with respect to that conversation about how different men and women view relationships, what do you think was the one thing that really stuck out as the most shocking or most interesting to you?
When I recall I'm recalling the conversation, I think it's just how the perception that we each have of a relationship. For men, they are looking at mostly the physical when they first meet. So one guy says, you know, yes, I want to know the inner part of the woman, but, you know, let's be real. When I first see, I like what I see. You know, this is what I see. I'm not looking for the inner at the beginning. So a woman needs to make sure she carries herself a certain way. She's, you know, she's looking nicely, because I'm not going to talk to someone that's, you know, makeup's all crazy and you know.
Well, and that goes both ways. I mean, I think women also, you know, we don't just people in general, you know, you assess by what you see. Not, I mean, it's not like their personality just comes shining through, but there have been some pretty people that have horrible personalities. Yeah,
absolutely.
So definitely.
Absolutely. But I think as women, though, we go a little bit further. We don't always let the appearance be the first judge.
No, I'm totally superficial.
You know, oh, you are. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Christina over there, she's the bitch of the crew right there. Well, you know, if you don't have straight teeth and a perfect nose and wonderful eyelashes, forget it. Keep walking.
I mean, those things are nice to look. I actually look for the conversation. Be careful, guys, how when you open your mouth.
Sure,
You know,
absolutely.
that kind of thing. So yeah,
very nice. And Wendy Robinson is going to be talking about success in business.
Yes. Wendy is another person who's very successful in her journey, and she'll just be really sharing some tips about starting a business, you know, making that business grow, and some of the social media tips that she'll give will be awesome. So,
and Yamina, did I say that right? Yamina. Okay.
Yes, McIntosh.
Okay.
Yamina is actually flying in from the Midwest to be with us.
Okay.
And so she will, very awesome lady. I only met her via phone. So I'm looking forward to actually getting an opportunity to really conversate with her.
Okay.
So,
and she's going to be talking about walking in your purpose.
Yes. Yes.
So what
from
is that?
A spiritual level, you know, we have to be in tune with who we are. And when you're starting whatever it is, you need to make sure you're on purpose and you're doing things in line with your purpose.
Sure.
And so she'll be really talking about how to get in line with your purpose.
Well, that's good.
You know, so
I'm sure that will be helpful to a lot of people. And Angel Marie is going to be sharing her 3 tips to raise your energy level.
Yes. Angel is awesome, is she?
She is. She is.
She really is. So she's going to get us going after that big lunch that we'll have.
That's what everyone needs Angel for, because Angel can really just add a lot of energy to everything. So
absolutely.
Yes, that's a great time to have her there if you've eaten too much. She'll wake you right up.
She had she shared with us a long time ago a little thing that you can do to change up the energy. And I'm going to share it with everybody.
Okay.
Because it's amazing.
Okay.
If you're in a room where there's some negativity or something that the energy needs to be changed up, you just clap your hands and it changes it up. So that also means that if Angel ever walks into the room and she starts doing this at you,
you know, okay,
you know.
The atmosphere.
Exactly. I use that one all the time.
I love it.
Just saying.
I love it. Because you do. Sometimes you walk into a room and you can actually feel it sometimes. It's like, oh.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. There's some tension in this room.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So to break that all up, I love that.
It works on your teenagers also. I'm just going to share that with you.
Oh, okay. Good.
Really? Because I've tried it like 10 times. It does not work.
Sometimes you need a drum.
I was going to say.
They totally ignore you, huh?
Yeah, a pan next to the head seems to work just fine for them. And it makes the same type of sound.
We'll have to ask Angel about that. Is that the same as a pan upside the head? Well, good. Okay, so where is the event going to be taking place at?
The event will be at the Embassy Suites, and that's at the Biltmore area, right on Camelback.
Okay.
It will be March the 7th, beginning at 10 a.m. And we're going to 4. We're going to have some great vendors there. We're going to be giving away some prizes. And also, we're going to recognize 2 women of the community. and they will receive the Women of Success Awards.
So how were those women selected?
Those women were selected. We kind of skimmed the community to see what they were actually doing, and we came up with 2.
Okay.
So
do they know that they've been selected?
Yes.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes, they just, were made aware, and we're going to be doing a video on them. So you'll get to hear their stories during that event as well.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Good. So the event starts at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And it goes until what time?
Until 4.
Till 4 o'clock.
So registration will open up at 9.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us that are doing a radio show that won't get there till 11, that will be okay.
That will be fine. You are excused.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, good. It sounds like a good event. I will be there.
Awesome.
And can people still register?
Yes.
Okay.
We've actually lowered the registration until Monday.
Okay.
So until Monday, you can get in for $50.
For $50.
And it does include lunch.
Okay.
So.
There you go. $50. The event goes from 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock. Lots of speakers, vendors that are going to be there. And it sounds like there are sometimes when you go to an event and the speakers are talking, it's a lot of fluff. But it sounds like from everything that I've heard, it sounds like there's going to be some real takeaways and some information shared.
Yes, that is the plan, is to make sure people going there and be able to take away some of the tips that will be given and apply them immediately.
That's great. So the website is sisterhoodextravaganza.org. You can go there to register for the event and see more about the event. Thank you so much for joining us here today to talk about and promote this event. Before we go, I want to hear a little bit about your business, because you've taken your time to come and promote this event and share this event with everyone. But let's share with everyone your business and what you do.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
My company is PLR Services, and we provide administrative support services. So we do event organizations. We do office organizing. We also provide IT consulting, and we do graphic design and web design.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
So if somebody is in need of a receptionist, do you do that?
We don't provide those. It's more like a virtual.
Okay.
Yes, a virtual administrative.
Okay,
person.
good. Very good. And share with everyone the website where they can find out more and connect with you.
It is www.plrservices.com. And that's
Very
P as
easy.
in Paul. L as in
PLR Services.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us here
you,
today. I
Christina.
really appreciate it.
Appreciate
It was
it
wonderful
so very
to
much you having me on. I really do. Both you and Michelle. It's been great. Love the offices.
Thank you.
Great energy in this room.
So what colors do you see in the wall here? Hashtag the dress. Do we all see green?
I see green.
This is
Okay. Okay.
olive drab green.
Okay. All right. Very good.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
I just want to make sure we're all seeing the same color.
Yeah, green and white. Pretty simple.
We keep it simple here.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with more on No Limits Radio Show. If you are a big fan of sports and you like sports, no, were we not?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, we can. I
Okay.
just you caught me a little off guard. It's got a couple minutes, but I know you have somewhere to be, so it's okay.
Okay.
So next week, what are we doing? Next week's a big week.
Well, I don't know yet if we are going to have.
Yes, I know. We might have someone in studio next
Yes.
week, and we will be very excited. So I recommend that you do tune in case
Yes.
we do have someone in studio. But if they don't show up, what are we talking about next week, Christina?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
Sounds like a good answer to me.
All right. So if you like sports, you definitely want to stay tuned, because up next is JD's Rockin' Sports, and they will be talking about, you guessed it, sports. There's a lot of other great shows that are part of the Vets on Media family. So I really want to encourage you to go to vetsonmedia.com, check out all of those other shows, and take a look at our advertisers and sponsors and support what we're doing here at Vets on Media. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly